Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Sheila Beaver coming to you with another review of Carl Weber's The Family Business, New Orleans, Season 1, Episode 2. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe. The more you do like, the more I do go through the algorithm, and more people will start to view my commentary. This is a new season. Like as I stated in Season 1, I have not saw, as I stated when I did Episode 1, like I said, I have not seen the other Family Business. I believe it was Houston, but this seems as if this is something totally different. It's just different. Everything is just in New Orleans. But yeah, y'all, I don't know if a lot of y'all watch this show or not, but I'm gonna give it a go until I see that nobody is watching these reviews, and then I'm not gonna do them no more because I don't want to be wasting my time if I'm just gonna review them and nobody's gonna watch. So yeah, but anyway, I'm just gonna do episode 2, and we can get into it. All right, so the episode starts out with the LeBlanc gang, or entourage, or his soldiers, the LeBlanc soldiers, John LeBlanc soldiers. They are tossing away the bodies, right? Remember the bodies that was from episode 1, the older guy and the younger man. So they over there tossing out the bodies, and while they're tossing out bodies, they see Pierre LeBlanc's car. They like, well, hold on, wait, that's Pierre LeBlanc's car. What's going on? So they go and they approach the car, and then they pull out their glizzies, and they're like, who are you? And get up at the car. And the dude in the car, he was just like, y'all better be, watching where y'all pointing y'all guns. They was like, oh, we don't care. Get on up at the car. But they don't show his face. They only show the back of the face, right? So he gets out the car, he holds his hands up, and they keep the glizzies on him. All right. So, now the scene jumps into where the voodoo witch, she's over there. Is she drinking goat blood or blood? What is she drinking out this cup? I said, what is going on here? So I guess she got to keep making love to him in order for that chicken foot to work around his neck. So he talking about he's sitting up there while she's on top of him with this blood coming up out her mouth. He was like, ooh, what is that? Oh. He acts like he's literally being possessed. I said, she is putting roots out on his body from the rooted to the tooted. But anyway. All right, so now you're back with Marquise. Marquise and the other Duncans, they are about to aboard their private jet. And while they're aboarding a private jet, a black car comes up, and Marquise, he pulls out his glizzy like, who is that? Who is that? So out comes, they're introducing Bernadette Stans. I said, one thing I can say about this cast, this is a good looking cast. Like, everybody looks so good. They look so healthy. Like, Bernadette, child, good time, look good. Child, what's her name? I be want to call her Sunshine so much. Layla Rashad. I think that's her name. Layla Rashad. Beautiful. Like, everybody is so beautiful. Like, it's crazy how these women look so good. The girl that plays Monique, like, everybody. But anyway, enough of me talking about these people look good. The men look good too. All right, so she comes in, and apparently her name is Nene in this, and Nene is the mother of the niece and the guy. Duncan, the Duncan niece. I keep forgetting what their names are, but she's their mother or whatever. But she said she want to come along too, like, and they were saying Shirley not gonna be happy. She said, well, shoot, I'll take care of Shirley. You don't worry about her. I'm just coming along. I guess she a heavy hitter too, because she said, once she put her mind on something, she ain't gonna change it. I said, okay. All right. So now, Floyd is tying up loose ends because, the word around town is John LeBlanc, he is giving money. Like, he is giving $100,000 for everybody to keep their mouth shut. So now Floyd has went over to, I believe his name is Curtis, has went over to Curtis' house and was like, hey, what you doing? We need to talk. Curtis lays it out loud. He was like, look, him and Lloyd, I think the guy name was Lloyd, they gonna go, and it's another guy too. All three of them are gonna go and talk to Jean, just to let him know, hey, we got word on what happened with your brother. And Floyd is like, why would you do that? You gave me your word. My daddy told me that a man's word, a man should be good for his word or whatever. And he was just like, look, and also, why did Floyd want to get this man $1,000? He was like, what am I gonna do with $1,000? Like, I can't do nothing with that. He said, man, I got bills. He was like, so you really gonna go and not keep your word with me and gonna go over here and pretty much drop a dime and say whatever you know? But Curtis' whole thing is, look, I didn't do it, you didn't do it, we in the clear, we just trying to get this money, we can split it 3 ways. He was like, no. So all of a sudden the glizzy come out, pow pow, pow 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 pow, and no more Curtis. I knew he wasn't gonna make it. I knew he wasn't. And also what he did after this, Floyd went over there to it was, who was that? Who I said, Curtis and Todd. He went over to his house and pow-powed him too. So I'm just like, well, I guess you didn't make it. It is what it is. So they over here really tying up loose ends. And also you have Cheryl and Monique. They're at the funeral. They are paying their respects to John, and also they're there to peep out the scenery, right? So once they pay their respects over there to John, they looking around, they like, we got to tie up loose ends over here too. Monique said, we don't do this. I am from Cleveland. We don't dance around dead people. Like, we need to hear him get up out of here. But before they left out, they saw one of the other guys. They went over there where he was, slit his neck and all that other stuff. Now he laying on the ground, no longer alive. And when the mayor and the sheriff saw it, they were just like, shoot, we just gonna say that he got stamped by the crowd. Stampede. And he's a homeless man, I guess. Whoop-de-whoop. All right. So now, the LeBlanc gang, I don't know what they call themselves, but the LeBlanc gang, they went and told John who they saw. They saw this guy in Pierre's car, and he just talking a whole lot of junk. Like, he telling these people, because they got him tied up to a chair, and he just telling people he gonna kill everybody. And he talking about people mamas. He just really running his mouth. And you know what was so crazy? When I saw his face, I said, oh, he ain't going nowhere no time soon, and we'll get there later. And the whole thing is, John LeBlanc, he's neglecting his wife. So now he has marital issues. His wife is thinking that he's cheating. So she up here trying to keep him at home, because she told him, she was like, you said you weren't going to do any more business right now. Like, you supposed to be at home. He was like, look, I'm stressed out and I need to take care of this business. And she was just like, well, dang. So she thinking in her mind, I can just get some champagne and some strawberries and put on some little negligee, and he can relieve stress that way. But he ain't trying to. He trying to get over there and relieve stress by beating up this dude that they done found that's in Pierre's car. So she straight out asked him, she was like, are you having an affair? Like, who is she? He was like, it's nobody. She said, well, we ain't did nothing in months. And he was just like, look, you are the pretty much gassing her up. You the love of my life. You the apple of my eye. You the this, you the that, you the that. And there is no way I will never have anybody other than you. And he act like he's leaning down to kiss her, and he leaning down to get his phone. I said, ow. And he just leave. And she said, well, you hold on. She was like, wait, you ain't gonna get here to 3:00. He said, well, stay up till 3. I said, girl. So she ended up getting her rose. And I guess she gonna do what she gonna do with that rose. Okay, so now you have these gang. I don't know. To me, this episode had a lot going on. It was a lot going on. And I was just like, okay, it's a lot of different storylines. But I guess maybe they're gonna tie up in their own little ways. So now you have this little, I don't know, gang, and apparently he's a part of the Duncans too. So they run around here robbing pharmacy stations, like pharmacy stores. So they robbing pharmacy stores for the drugs, for the pharmaceuticals. Okay, all right. So now, John gets there, and he takes the mask off of this guy here. He's telling me, look, light skin, da 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 da. Who are you, and why are you here, and why are you driving my brother's car? And apparently the light skin, he's just like, look, I'm not talking to nobody other than the boss. He was like, you must know who I am. I am the boss. And in his mind, he like, no, Pierre is the boss. And John is like, no, Pierre thinking he the boss, but he ain't. I'm the man around here. Like, I'm running this. And so then he begins to say, well, I'm a big deal. And this guy is named Sebastian, and he's from Florida, and he got the best, free-base pharmaceuticals out here, or powdered pharmaceuticals, you know what I'm saying, out here, yeah. And so come to find out, he said, and that was the thing, he had a deal with Pierre to come and get these 5 keys out of the trunk. It's pure and it's the best in town, right? And so also when he was explaining who he was, one of the other guys had came down to tell John, like, I've heard of this dude, I heard of Sebastian, so it seems like he's legit. So they end up going to the trunk, they get the stuff, and they I guess they get ready to play Let's Make a Deal. All right, so now you have Monique and you have Shirley. So they coming out the casino talking about the buffets and the masquerade ball and all of that stuff. And they ended up looking like, who was this in this black car? He was like, man, that looked like Marquise with friends. Like, who do Marquise has in his car? So Marquise get out. You got Bernadette. You got Nene daughter, Nene's son, and somebody else. And they just like, hey, Shirley, how you doing? And apparently Nene is Cheryl's sister-in-law. And she was just like, hey, like, what are you doing here? She faking pleasantries. Like, it's good to see you, but it really ain't. Like, why are you here? I really don't want you here. And I can get what? Y'all want to go in here and get something to eat? And Nene like, no, I don't eat buffet food. I can take you to the house and cook you something. You know how women do. You can cook, but you can't cook better than me. However that go, right? So Shirley ended up getting them and convincing them to go in that buffet and get something to eat. All the while she has something that she needs to talk about with Marquise, because she mad that he done brought the family down after she told him, I need you to go to Houston, and he done ended up going to New York and coming on down back here to New Orleans. All right, so now these are the robbers that apparently this is a Duncan too, and it seems like this may be Shirley's brother, because Shirley's brother is married to Nene. So that's how they tying all this stuff together. And while they looking through, the pharmaceuticals, like, he was just looking like, okay, this isn't it. Like, this isn't what I was looking for. This isn't what I was looking for. And they just like, come on, you can't. This is some good stuff. You can't throw this stuff away. And so once he finds what he's looking for, he was like, because he was saying, Nene's going to want me back. Nene's going to want me back. He said, Nene said, I can't come home until, I got my mind and my body right. So apparently he finds the pharmaceutical of choice. He ends up taking it. He says, now I can go back home to Nene. I can go back home to Nene. Okay. So now, remember when I was saying earlier that he had these 5 Ks in the back of the trunk? They end up getting the keys, and it looks like it's some legit stuff. The dude over there sniffing, and it's really good. It's very pure and all that stuff. So now they finna play Let's Make a Deal. The deal is, because originally he had the deal with Pierre, it's 15K per key, right? Now, so John said, well, how about this? How about I give you 13.5K per key and give me 35 more keys? He was like, shoot, if you untie my hands, I can tell you that we got a deal. So he ended up untying his hands. They ended up getting some champagne, and now they new business partners. And then I'm thinking like, okay, Mr. Sebastian, are you going to end up unaliving the people that you said you was? Because they need to know that you a big deal too. That's all I'm saying. All right. So there they go. All right, so now you have Marquise and you have Shirley. Soon as they get back in the office, child, Shirley slaps the fire out of Marquise's face and saying, I can't believe you disrespecting me. And he was just like, Mama, I'm just doing what you said. I'm just doing what you didn't want to do. Like, we needed some help down here. You didn't want to listen to me. And now it is what it is. And he was like, I know that'll be your last resort. You know what I'm saying? Getting your family down here. But I was doing what's best for me. And she was like, no, I wanted you to be in Houston or whatever. He was just like, Mama, I'm a grown man. I'm saying that I'm going to run this business. I need to know the good, the bad, the ugly. I need to be here for the money, the lifestyle, and I need to be down here pretty much in the gutter. Like, I need to be here fighting with you, not shipped it off somewhere else. And then, Shirley, she just kind of resonated with it and she understood, and it was respect after that. So then he asked Mama, like, so what did you do? And she said, everything is, they tied up everything. She said, how, son, you said sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So they did what they had to do. But y'all didn't do all that y'all had to do because y'all left one end loose. All right, here we go. So now Duncan, I'm gonna call him Daddy Duncan. Now Daddy Duncan, he feeling real good, right? He feeling real good. He's like, now I need to call Nene and I need to talk to Nene, my wife. So picking up the phone, ring. Nene answers the phone. She was like, what are you doing here? What are you doing? He was like, I'm better, baby. I'm better. I'm coming to see you. So Daddy Duncan thinking that she's in New York. She was like, no, I'm not in New York no more. I'm actually in New Orleans. He said, what you doing in New Orleans? He was like, I'm just there. She said she's just there here for a little minute, so handling some family business and all that stuff. And he said, I'm ready, whatever. And she said, well, you know what I'm saying? You stay ready. I'll be back in New York before you know it. And because she said she had the kids and all of that stuff, right? He said, okay. He gets off the phone and he tells like his crew, like, hey, we not going to New York no more. We not on our way wherever they was in New York. Now they are going to go to New Orleans. They said, well, shoot, I ain't never been to New Orleans. I can go to New Orleans. Okay, so I said everybody in New Orleans. I guess this is a family business. All right, and so when Nene gets out the phone, the son was like, who is that? She was like, she said it was somebody else. I wonder why she didn't say it was your daddy. I don't know, but she said it was somebody else. And he was just looking like, what? And then the daughter looking like, what? Because she was real happy on that phone. All right. And so now you have, remember the guy that was in the woods that seen the body? And it's always this, and I hate it's always something like this in these shows. It's like a telltale sign that somebody is going to do something that's going to pretty much make the story tie on together. So the guy that was in the woods that saw everything, he was like, look, Shirley, big Shirley, I need to talk to you about some business. She doesn't want to talk to him about any business. She said Floyd handles the business, so you can talk to Floyd. He was like, well, it's really important. But she's like, I don't have time because apparently he's an avid gambler and he loses his money a lot. So she thinking it's on some stuff like, I lost my money. I need you to do this, whoop, whoop, whoop. You can give me, she thinking he wants some type of free buffet ticket or something. I don't know. But she pushes him off to Floyd. So now Floyd like, okay, so what's up? What you want? And so he just gonna say $50K. I'm like, okay, context matters. And it's always stuff like this. Everybody leave out context, which makes somebody go do some stupid stuff that they shouldn't have did in the first place if y'all would have just communicated properly, right? But anyway, that's too much like, right, I guess that's why it's called rest no peace or whatever. But anyway, so Floyd like 50 for what? Like 50 what? Ain't nobody got time for whatever you guys talking about. And if Floyd didn't even say like, why do you want $50,000? He just brushed it off. He gave him this long soliloquy about something that didn't have nothing to do with nothing, and he pretty much walks off. And so the dude in the bushes, he was just like, okay, well, I wanted $50,000 if you wanted me to keep my my lips closed when it came to Pierre shooting, Pierre's powing. But since you don't want to help me out, I'm gonna go over here to John for $100,000. I said, here we go. And then it went off. So I'm like, sometimes you just got to ask the right questions. Or maybe he should have just led with, I seen what happened, so give me $50,000. Something simple. But anyway, y'all, that's pretty much it with a family business. Y'all like, coming in and subscribe. And like I'm saying, like, if I don't really get the views for this, then I'm not going to review it no more. I'll probably do 2 more reviews. And if the views don't go up, child, I'm not reviewing this no more. Not going to waste my time for no 70 or 80 views. It ain't that deep for me. All right, y'all. This is Sheila B. Love. Like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know what y'all think. Bye.